One of the best pieces of advice that I've ever gotten was around communication. And it's something that I teach my students. And if you like that type of content or learning how to communicate to be a better person, to think better, and to kill the horrible mental thoughts, make sure you follow and you jump into the link so you can see the different offerings I do around mental coaching. So the advice came like this. It was learn how to communicate effectively, because if you miscommunicate, you can't re-communicate. What that means is communicate effectively so that nothing is assumed or misconstrued or messed up, so that you don't have to re-communicate, which usually comes after you already messed up, after both parties have made assumptions. And most of the time, in that assumption, they don't actually stop to say, well, is this real, or did I make this up based on what we saw or what I felt from that person? They never actually have a conversation. So it's the idea of learning how to communicate. Here's something that I teach my students that's very powerful, because not many people do this. They don't stop and write out, get out of their head what happened in interaction. So if somebody said something to you in a certain way, in a certain tone, we react but never process, digest, and then go and fix. We react, deal with the damages, and then go on. But there is a three-step method into understanding and stopping and realizing, okay, what happened? Let me write it out. Let me look at it from all angles, and then go and fix the problem the right way, communicate effectively. And what I do is I give my students this sheet that they can sit down and they can write out what happened, so they're not in their head, and they can't, maybe they can't talk to anybody about this, but you can write it out, just read it back to see what actually happened. And if you want that, just drop mind, MIND, in the chat, and I'll send it to you totally for free, because it's so powerful. But that piece of advice changed my life, and it changed how I moved and did everything.